Billions eat these foods daily, not knowing Jewish cooks helped carry, adapt, and popularize them. Bagels, pastrami, hummus, falafel, they feel local almost everywhere now. But each carries roots, accents, bakeries, markets, and family memories inside. Jewish cooking was never one cuisine. Ashkenazi, Sephardi, and Mizrahi kitchens all absorbed local ingredients, then carried them onward. Wherever communities moved, through Europe, the Middle East, North Africa, and the Americas, recipes adapted, survived, and found new customers. That is the magic here. Comfort food travels better than almost anything. It can cross oceans, pick up new spices and storefront signs, and still taste like home. One bite can connect centuries of markets, migrations, and weekend breakfasts. And the reason these dishes spread is deliciously simple. They work. They use affordable staples: flour, chickpeas, potatoes, onions. Then make them feel generous. In food, the best passport is a craving. So let's follow the trail, from hot ovens to crowded delis. The bagel's superpower starts before it ever reaches the oven. In Polish and Yiddish-speaking Eastern European bakeries, bread was craft, livelihood, and community rhythm. The bagel stood out because it was dense, chewy, portable, and cheap. Its secret is 2 steps: a quick boil, then a hard bake. Boiling gelatinizes the surface, giving bagels that glossy, tugging crust. Baking finishes the deal, turning simple dough into breakfast architecture. When Jewish immigrants arrived in new cities, bagels came with them, first in small shops, then in bigger bakery networks. In New York, small bakeries turned them into neighborhood morning fuel. Cream cheese, smoked fish, tomato, onion, suddenly a full meal. Then supermarkets, cafes, and airports made the bagel almost borderless. It conquered by being 3 things at once: bread, handle, and memory. That little ring became a global breakfast because it fit modern life perfectly. If the bagel was breakfast, the deli was pure theater. On streets like New York's Lower East Side, Jewish immigrants built places where speed, abundance, and nostalgia shared a counter. The star was pastrami, cured, spiced with coriander and black pepper, smoked, steamed, and sliced hot. Piled on rye with mustard, it became New York's edible skyline, a great sandwich stacks the meat high enough to need both hands. But delis weren't only about giant sandwiches, they were everyday gathering rooms. Matzo ball soup offered the opposite feeling: light broth, soft dumplings, comfort. Pickles cut richness. Rye brought tang, mustard delivered sharp electricity. That balance made heavy food feel bright, lively, and addictive. Deli menus also taught cities new words: knish, kugel, kreplach, through cravings, not lectures. You didn't need to know the history, you just ordered another sandwich. From there, deli culture spread through films, travel, cookbooks, and appetite. Now comes the tiny bean that quietly conquered lunch. Across the Middle East, chickpeas, sesame, garlic, and lemon became classics in shared market cooking. Jewish communities cooked these foods for generations alongside neighbors, from hummus bowls to bubbling shakshuka on the table. Hummus is almost ridiculously simple: chickpeas mashed into creamy possibility. At its heart are 4 essentials: chickpeas, tahini, lemon, and garlic. Tahini adds nutty depth. Olive oil makes the surface shine. Falafel takes the same humble world and turns it crisp and loud. Herbs, spices, and hot oil transform soaked legumes into street food fireworks. Wrapped in bread with salad and sauce, falafel became lunch you can carry. Then global diners discovered something else. These foods felt fresh and wholesome. They hit the modern sweet spot: plant-based, affordable, and packed with flavor. That's how ancient market food became supermarket dip and global street lunch. Jewish food conquered kitchens because it was built for gathering. At the weekly Shabbat table, challah arrives braided, golden, soft, and ceremonial looking. Its beauty is practical too. Rich dough, shared by hand, feeds everyone. Brisket shows another genius: patience turning tough cuts into tenderness. Slow cooking turns frugal meat into centerpiece comfort, the kind people plan a meal around. Latkes bring Hanukkah crunch: grated potatoes, onion, oil, and hot pan drama. They're humble, but with sour cream or applesauce, they feel festive. Sufganiot bring the holiday's opposite texture: pillowy donuts bursting with jam. These foods mark time, but they also mark who gets invited in. A recipe becomes powerful when it turns a date on the calendar into a feeling. That feeling has three flavors: warmth, abundance, and remember this later sweetness. No wonder these dishes travel. Everyone understands a table that welcomes you. Then came the sweets, and bakeries never looked back. Babka began as home-baked richness, yeasted dough twisted with sweet fillings. Chocolate, cinnamon, nuts. Every swirl promised drama at the slice. The signature look is dough and filling twisted, folded, and baked into visible ribbons. Rugelach works smaller, rolling flaky dough around jam, chocolate, or nuts. It's the kind of pastry that disappears before coffee cools. For decades, these sweets lived in home kitchens and neighborhood bakeries. Then modern bakeries rediscovered them as photogenic, shareable, deeply nostalgic treats. A babka slice looks luxurious, but it still feels handmade. That mix, humble roots, maximal flavor, is incredibly modern. The world didn't just want dessert, it wanted a story to slice. And Jewish sweets gave bakeries exactly that. Flavor with a family echo. So why did these foods conquer the world? Because they solved problems. They fed families with inexpensive ingredients: flour, potatoes, chickpeas, onions, scraps. They turned limitation into technique: boiling, braising, pickling, frying, stretching dough. They were portable, sellable, and perfect for immigrant entrepreneurs starting small. A pushcart could become a counter. A counter could become an institution. The formula repeated across continents: community first, customers next, culture after. And the flavors were never shy: sour, salty, garlicky, smoky, sweet. That boldness helped the food stand out in crowded cities and menus. But the deeper mechanism is emotional. These dishes make strangers feel hosted. A bowl of hummus invites dipping. A challah invites tearing. A deli sandwich practically demands you lean in with both hands. That's the conquest, not empire, just appetite, memory, and welcome. The world didn't just adopt Jewish food, it adopted portable belonging. That's why the same dish can feel trendy and ancient at once. Order a bagel in Tokyo, London, or Sao Paulo, and the old bakery logic is still there: boil, bake, share. Grab falafel during a lunch rush, and market ingenuity becomes a meal you can eat while walking. Matzo ball soup does something quieter. It turns broth and dumplings into care. And babka brings the generous ending: extra sweetness, sliced thick, with crumbs left behind. Jewish food conquered by staying adaptable without losing its emotional center. It welcomed new toppings, new cities, new customers, and new cravings. But underneath, the promise stayed simple: sit, eat, remember, share. A plate can carry a whole history if you know how to taste it. Most people meet that history casually, in breakfast lines and lunch breaks. They may not know the story, but they know the feeling. So the next time you tear bread, dip hummus, or bite pastrami, pause, look for the technique: the boil before the bake, the long braise, the chickpeas turned creamy or crisp. Look for the journey through bakeries, delis, markets, apartments, holidays, and open tables. That's why these foods lasted. They were delicious before they were famous. The world eats the story every day. So notice the next warm plate and share the history behind it.